آمنوا كتب عليكم الصيام كما كتب على الذين من قبلكم لعلكم تتقون.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम वरहमतुल्लाहि वबरकातुहू। आवाज आ रही है? प्लीज कंफर्म कर दीजिए। अस्सलाम वालेकुम वरहमतुल्लाहि वबरकातुहू। सबको रमजान मुबारक। हमारी आज की पहली इफ्तारी है, वो बना रहे हैं आज। हम यहाँ पे शुरू करेंगे कुकिंग। आप लोग आए, आपस में बातचीत करें। आवाज आ रही है? जी जबरदस्त हो गया। तो बस मैं यहाँ पे फाइनल थोड़ी सी वो कर रहा हूँ प्रिपरेशन, वो करके तो मैं आपकी तरफ आता हूँ बिल्कुल। जी क्यूज बेसिक हमारे साथ मौजूद हैं, दुआ नूर किचन है। तो आप लोग जो है यहाँ पे रहिए, जल्दी आपको आपको अच्छा यहाँ पर ये क्या हो गया? 1 मिनट रुकिएगा जरा। हाँ जी, अभी देखिए आपको नजर आ रहा है? जी आप यहाँ से मैसेज देख लेते हैं। हमारे साथ स्केड्यूलर मौजूद हैं। क्रिएटिवली क्रिएटेड डेना, हाउ आर यू? ट्रिपल सी, यू आर हियर। We are making some amazing Turkish food today, so stick with us. Schedulers, mashallah, Ramzan Mubarak ji. We're preparing for Tarawih, Iftari. Tarawih is already on my mind. So we are making some really amazing food here today. I will, in a second, I will do a little bit of an introduction of what we have here, and then we'll go from there. So stay with us. You are in for an amazing treat today. We're going to be making some Turkish bread, and we're going to be making some really delicious Turkish stew as well. My camera situation is a little bit unsettled still. I'm going to be working on it. I was working all day long, so I did not get around to fix that. So just bear with me. From tomorrow, hopefully, our camera situation will be very good. आज कैमरा की थोड़ी सी सिचुएशन जो है वो उतनी अच्छी नहीं है, तो मेरे साथ रहिएगा। आपको कैमरा की सिचुएशन कल से जो आपको मेरी भी तस्वीर नजर आ रही होगी। तो मैं यहाँ पे मौजूद हूँ। ये आपको बताता चलूँ थोड़े से मेरे पास इंग्रेडिएंट्स क्या हैं, क्या कर। पहले तो हमारे पास जो है ये तकरीबन 500 ग्राम्स के करीब जो है ये बीफ है, क्यूब हुआ हुआ। मुझे इस तरह से अच्छा लगता है, लेकिन जो असल रेसिपी है उसमें थोड़ी सी छोटी क्यूब चाहिए होती है, लेकिन दिस इज बेटर। वी कैन कट इट इनटू स्मॉलर क्यूब्स इफ यू वांट टू, लेकिन आई विल गो विद दिस। उसके अलावा we of course we have onions. I have just split some shallots, and then I will be working with that. There is a lot more stuff for the bread. I will not go into the bread area yet, so let's just focus onto the ingredients for our stew that we will start. हमारा जो आटा है वो इस वक्त मौजूद है, उसमें फूल रहा है, तो उसके लिए अभी हम उस पर चलेंगे। Our flour, not the flour, the dough actually is almost ready. So I'll show you. I did it in advance because 1 hour will not be enough to do all that. Mushrooms, that's my own addition. If you want to add mushrooms, आप add कर सकते हैं. If you don't want to add mushrooms, you can leave them out. Then we have tomatoes. These tomatoes are local tomatoes that I bought today. यहाँ के local tomatoes हैं. There is a village called Almira. वहाँ से ये मिलते हैं, तो locally grown fresh tomatoes. And then I have some chilies. जो Turkish chilies होती हैं वो मुझे नहीं मिली green color की, but for the color I got this really nice red one, and for extra color I got one of these orange ones as well. And then of course we have some oil and some butter that we'll be using for cooking. So that's what we have in terms of ingredients. I will be making it a little bit wok style. So I have my wok ready here. It's a little bit rustic looking, but that's because it has been through a lot. So don't worry about it. It's going to be a lot of fun cooking in this wok. So let's get started. हमें जो है ज़्यादा इस पे देर नहीं करेंगे, थोड़ी से 30 मिनट में ये काम जो है स्टार्ट करूँगा. थोड़ी सी मल्टीटास्किंग करनी पड़ेगी. हमारे साथ उम्मीद है सुबह मौजूद है. अस्सलाम वालेकुम, वालेकुम अस्सलाम रहमतुल्लाह. मैं तो शुक्र ने मैं ज्वाइन किया, चटा फूड एंड ब्लॉग ने ज्वाइन किया. Thank you very much everybody for coming and stay with us. You are in for an amazing treat. So let's start rolling with this. So let me just put stuff away that I'm not going to be using. So there's a lot in my feet right now, so I hope that will not be an obstacle. चलें जी, let's start. तो सबसे पहले हम क्या करेंगे कि we will go around finishing off cutting our vegetables and stuff. So I stopped a little few minutes ago because I wanted to get ready for the live stream. So I'll just start from there. I was almost done with my mushrooms, so let's just finish them off. So mushrooms are really easy to cut. All you need to do is cut them in half and then go around cutting them in small slices, and there you go. So बहुत easy होती है, बहुत soft होती है. They're very easy to cut और uniformly कटी जाती है. So all you need to do is just go around and cut them. Mushrooms मेरी हो गई finish. उसके अलावा गार्लिक है. गार्लिक 4 क्लोव्स मैंने लिए हैं. उसको मैं थोड़ा सा क्रश कर लूँगा. कैमरा एंगल पता नहीं आपको ठीक लग रहा है या नहीं, लेकिन कल से मैं प्रॉपर कैमरा सिचुएशन करने की कोशिश करूँगा. तो मेरा आधा किचन जो है वो फारिग नहीं है आज. Apologies for that, लेकिन I'm working on the half one. So garlic को भी आप really fine काट लीजिए. So just go around cutting that in really thin slices. वैसे तो 2 क्लोव्स काफ़ी होते इस रेसिपी के लिए, लेकिन I went a little bit over. I want a little bit more garlic, especially शुरू में उसको मैं रोस्ट करूँगा. जो टर्किश रेसिपी है उसमें शुरू में रोस्ट नहीं करते हैं, उसमें आप गोश्त को पहले रोस्ट करते हैं, लेकिन मैं गार्लिक को थोड़ा सा रोस्ट करूँगा, अनियंस को भी थोड़ा सा रोस्ट करूँगा. That's how my palate likes it. So I'm going to make it a little bit more desi style for you, if you don't mind. I will also tell you what is the authentic way of doing it and what is a little bit more desi way of doing it. So we'll go with the authentic way as well as a little bit of desi style. Wherever I do that, I will let you know that this is my own style. So garlic is a little bit extra. थोड़ा सा इस तरह नहीं डालती हैं, a little bit extra, but you will see why that is, and we will have some nice flavors coming out of that. So that's all my garlic. So let's put these onions here. The garlic goes back into this. They will be going together. Now onions, there are so many ways. So this is such a versatile dish. If you ask 10 different people, they're going to be making it in 10 different. How is it now? अभी आवाज ठीक है? अभी आवाज ठीक है? प्लीज कंफर्म कर दीजिए. अभी आवाज ठीक है? चलो जबरदस्त हो गया. तो वो फोन के माइक्रोफोन से शायद आ रही थी, तो वो भी मैंने उसको फिक्स कर दिया है. I'll continue to struggle with this a little bit until my setup is fine. So basically, आपको प्याज काटने के भी there are 100 ways. So I'm gonna go a little fine. In Turkish too, they actually put just quarters, but I'm just gonna go a little bit more finer and do it in a little bit more smaller dice. So hopefully that will work out better. Again, little bit different. When you look at the Turkish style cooking, you will see it a little bit thicker. There are different ways. Different people like it different ways. But in a restaurant, if you go, they will be cutting it literally in quarters like this, and they will be throwing that in. So I will do that for one to show you how that turns out in the end. And it looks nice in the stew, but it's at the end of the day, it's what you prefer. So we'll just go around and I'll cut these onions quickly. I wanted to do it in advance, but so half of them I'll cut in like in quarters, so they unravel in your stew and they look really nice, the layers. But again, not everybody prefers that. But these are nice shallots. They are not like heavy onions, so they taste really good like that. So I'm just gonna go, and few of them will be just like that. This is one way to put it in there, and the rest I will, it will make me cry, but I will cut them the way I want them. And then we'll get our wok almost ready. The trick with wok is you have to have it really hot, and then put cold oil in it, and that way when you put meat in it, it doesn't stick. We are not making wok. आज wok नहीं बना रहे थे हम, लेकिन टर्किश स्टाइल में आपको wok में नहीं होता है, आपका वैसे किसी भी पैन में बना लेते हैं. लेकिन I wanted to add a little bit of wok flavor to it. तो वॉक जो है वो चाइनीज, आपने अगर खाया होगा, चाइनीज जो स्टर फ्राई होता है, बहुत तेजी से वो हाई स्पीड के ऊपर हाई फ्लेम के ऊपर वॉक आपकी जो है वो प्रिपेयर होती है. यहाँ से थोड़े से मैसेजेस ले लेते हैं. इसके ज्वेलर्स जो है वो कह रहे हैं बफरिंग. अभी ठीक है, अभी बताइए. जी ठीक है, जबरदस्त. तो बेसिकली all I've done is cut our onions in two different ways, and they both will be, I will show you when in the final result, I will show you how it all looks like in the end. What else? Need to cut tomatoes. Tomatoes are the, again, in French cuisine or in fancy cooking, what you do is you take out the peel, उसको छील लेते हैं, ब्लांच करके छील लेते हैं, छील के उसको पका लेते हैं. लेकिन मेरा, जब मैं खुद घर में बना रहा होता हूँ तो कोई ऐसा मूड नहीं होता. All you do is cut them this way. It's easier to cut. Very nice. थोड़ी सी जो है डालना है. And then you just go around, pile them up, and cut them into cubes like this. Koi khas fancy, you don't need to do anything fancy here. As long as they are cut into reasonable size cubes like this, that is good enough. उसके अगर छिलका उतार लें तो वो हेल्थ के लिए ज्यादा बेहतर होता है, क्योंकि आपका जो छिलका है वो एडिबल नहीं होता. मैंने 2 टमाटर लिए थे, लेकिन मेरा ख्याल है कि 1 टमाटर ही काफी हो जाएगा. 1 tomato, 1 large, it's very large tomato, as you can see. These are locally grown beefsteak tomatoes, and they are ginormous, as you can see, as compared to other tomatoes that you get out there in the market. So it's a little hard. They're so fresh and they're not like pulpy and soft. They're really putting up a fight when I'm cutting them. So they're really nice, juicy tomatoes. When you get something like this 5 kilometers from your home, you know you're living in the right place. मेरा अपना भी टमाटर लगाने का इरादा है इस साल, तो होपफुली as soon as I have a little bit of breather, रमजान के फौरन बाद इंशाल्लाह मैं अभी से सीड्स उसके शुरू करूंगा, आपको दिखाऊंगा भी. तो ये हो गए हमारे टमाटर। इसको मैं एक प्याले में निकाल लेता हूँ। और आप लोगों की सहरी पाकिस्तान में कैसी चल रही है? अभी खत्म होने वाली होगी या खत्म हो गई होगी मेरा। अभी अभी देख लें, थोड़ी देर बाद भूख लगनी शुरू होगी तो फिर मत देखिएगा। तो ये हमारा टमाटर जो है सारे का सारा कट गया। इसको भी एक साइड पर रख देते हैं। टमाटर हमें और नहीं चाहिए। यहाँ पे मैसेजेस देख लेते हैं। गुड वर्क जी, थैंक यू वेरी मच। आई होप यू विल लाइक इट, आई होप यू विल कॉपी द रेसिपी एंड ट्राई इट एंड मेक इट योर ओन। इट डजंट हैव टू बी एग्जैक्टली लाइक दिस। मेक इट योर ओन। सो ये जो है मैंने ली है चिलीज, थोड़ी सी स्पाइसी है इसलिए मैं बहुत ज़्यादा नहीं डाल रहा। इफ़ आई हैड एक्चुअल चिलीज जो मुझे चाहिए थी वो मिल जाती तो बहुत जल्दी वो काम भी हो जाता और बहुत आसानी से वो मुझे हो जाता उसका। इनको बस आपने थोड़ा बड़े उसमें काट लेना, बहुत छोटे में नहीं काटने। मेरा ख्याल है कि इसमें ना ये बहुत ज़्यादा मुझे नहीं डालनी चाहिए, तो मैं सिर्फ 2 ही लूँगा। कल मैंने इसको ट्राई किया था जब मैं लेकर आया ये, तो मैंने ट्राई किया था एक उसमें किसी खाने में, तो काफ़ी इनमें मतलब हीट है मौजूद, तो उससे जो है वो मुझे लगा कि मुझे उसको जो है वो नहीं डालना चाहिए उसमें, बहुत ज़्यादा नहीं डालनी चाहिए, वरना मैं 4-5 यहाँ डालता। तो ये हो गई जी चिलीज। कलर के लिए मैंने जो है ये एक और यहाँ पे एक चिली है, ये ली है। उम्मीद है कि ये भी बहुत ये ज़्यादा स्पाइसी नहीं है, ये सिर्फ फ्लेवर के लिए है और कलर के लिए है, और थोड़ा सा वॉल्यूम भी आ जाएगा हमारे स्टू के अंदर। तो इस वॉल्यूम से आपको जो है स्टू वो बहुत अच्छा लगता है, कलर भी आ जाता है। तो जितना कलरफुल उतना खाने को अच्छा दिल करता है। तो जस्ट गो अराउंड क्विकली कट इट आउट। अगर आपको चाहिए तो आप अंदर से सीड्स वगैरह निकाल सकते हैं। अगर आपको, मैं तो कुछ भी वेस्ट नहीं करता हूँ, बिल्कुल थोड़ा सा वेस्ट होता है, तो इसलिए जो है उम्मीद है कि कोई इसमें बहुत ज़्यादा स्पाइसी तो है नहीं है। ये तो वैसे भी खाई जाती है, सैलड में भी खाई जाती है वाली जो मैं भी काट रहा हूँ। तो दोनों मिल के तकरीबन उसका काफ़ी अच्छा सा कलर भी आ जाएगा और बड़े अच्छे से वो पक भी जाएगा। तो हमारे इंग्रेडिएंट सारे रेडी हैं जी। थोड़ा सा कैमरा मोड़ते हैं। गुलूल हमारे साथ है और एसके ज्वेलर्स हमारे साथ है। जी आप लोग एक दूसरे से बात करें। तो यहाँ पे मैं थोड़ा सा ट्राई करता हूँ कि आपको कैमरा यहाँ घुमा देते हैं, इधर ले जाते हैं इधर। और ये है जी वोक, जिससे मैं, बल्कि इसको मैं यहाँ थोड़ा सा पास ले आता हूँ ताकि आपको देखने में जो है वो आसानी रहे। वोक जब भी आप यूज़ करें उसके नीचे आप इस तरह से एक स्टैंड अगर आपके पास है कोई, या बनवा लें जब मिल जाता है तो वो यूज़ करें। उससे आपकी जो वोक है, देखिए ऐसे रखूंगा तो ये वॉबली है, अगर इसके ऊपर रखेंगे तो वो वॉबली नहीं रहेगी। तो ये एक तरीका है इसका। इसको करते हैं जी गर्म। अच्छा, इसमें ट्रिक क्या करना है हमें, हमें इसमें डालना है बटर। लेकिन जब बटर आप डालने का मसला ये होता है, मैं आपके यहाँ थोड़ी सी बात कर लेता हूँ कि बटर डालने का प्रॉब्लम ये होता है कि बटर जब आप वॉक में पकाते हैं या किसी भी हाई फ्लेम पे पकाते हैं तो फौरन फौरन उसका होना शुरू हो जाता है, जलना शुरू हो जाता है। मिल्क सॉलिड्स होते हैं उसके अंदर जो बहुत जल्दी जलना शुरू हो जाते हैं। तो व्हाट यू नीड टू डू इज यू नीड टू मिक्स इट विद सम ऑयल। तो मैं भी यहाँ पे यही करने वाला हूँ। तो जब हम इसमें डालेंगे तो साथ में कुछ ऑयल डालेंगे। 1 मिनट मुझे दीजिएगा, मैं कुछ यहाँ से ये मैं यूज़ करूँगा उसको पकाने के लिए। तो चलते हैं जी वापस तरफ अपने वॉक की तरफ। आपको मैंने तो ये भी थोड़ी सी गर्म हो रही है, इसमें हम जो है पहले ऐड करेंगे अपना बटर। लेकिन बटर ने जलना शुरू कर देना उसको, उससे पहले पहले आप इसमें ऑयल डाल दें ताकि जो बटर जब वो जलना शुरू हो उससे पहले ही वो ब्लैक ना हो जाए, ब्राउन ना हो जाए। ब्राउन अच्छा भी लगता है, मतलब हमें तो उसका मजा आता है, लेकिन वो बहुत ज्यादा ब्राउन हो जाए तो फिर चारकोल जैसे जैसे जलता जाता है वो चारकोल बनता जाता है। तो आपने बस ट्राई करना है कि इसमें मेल्ट हो जाए, इसके बाद फिर हम इसमें गोश्त डाल देंगे। ये तकरीबन 500 ग्राम या उससे ज़रा ज़्यादा है। 500 ग्राम से तो ज़्यादा ही होगा, 2 पाउंड एक्चुअली ज़्यादा है, तकरीबन 1 किलो के पास है। तो उस लिहाज से मैंने जो है तो ये तैयारी की है। आपने इसको थोड़ा सा मीडियम फ्लेम के ऊपर पहले सबसे पहले इसको ब्राउन कर लेना। पहले मकसद ये है इसका, इसको हम ब्राउन कर लें जितनी जल्दी कर सके। थोड़ा सा मैंने आपको कहा था कि मैं उसमें गार्लिक और अनियन को ब्राउन करूंगा। जैसे ही ये थोड़ा सा हो जाता है ब्राउन तो फिर इसमें गार्लिक अनियन डाल देंगे। मेरा इरादा तो ये था कि शुरू में डालूंगा, लेकिन मैंने जो है उसको रेसिपी को फॉलो करते हुए जो उनकी है असल उसमें मीट पहले से डाल दिया। तो उसी तरह से चलते हैं, देखते हैं कि जो ऑथेंटिक तरीका है उसको बनाने का वो कैसे है। मीट को ब्राउन आप कहते हैं, लोग कहते हैं कि जब ब्राउन हो जाता है ऊपर से तो सील हो जाता है, उसका फ्लेवर्स लॉक इन हो जाते हैं। ऐसा कुछ नहीं होता है। ब्राउन से उसका जो फ्लेवर प्रोफाइल है वो चेंज हो जाता है, उसकी ब्राउनिंग जो है वो इसलिए इम्पोर्टेंट है। तो मैं जरा साथ में सफाई कर देता हूँ। यहाँ पे देखता हूँ आपके कोई मैसेजेस। लुक्स डिलीशियस, यस। It's gonna be awesome once we're done. It's going to be the most awesome thing. So this is part of our culinary journey during Ramadan, right? So Ramadan, there are billions of people across the world who are celebrating. There are different stages of their fasting right now as we speak. As we speak in Pakistan, people are probably finishing up their Sehri, and here we are doing our Iftari, and it's a constant culinary festival. I would say the biggest culinary festival in the whole world that ever you will see, and you will see that there are a lot of people participating in that, and everyone has their own food. So what I thought is, rather than just cooking same stuff every time, let's give everyone and ourselves something more, something new, something from different countries. So this is from Turkey. It's called Et Sote, which literally means beef saute. The word saute comes from Turkish in French cuisine, so that's where it comes from. But it's not really a saute dish. It's saute, and you will cook it a little bit more afterwards. But we'll start it with the sauteing. So what I'm doing different here is, in Turkish cuisine, you will cook this meat with little bit of lid closed on lower heat. So we can do that, but where is the fun in that? If you're using wok, then let's enjoy the wok. So right now it's the goodness of butter that is coating it and browning the meat. Now, another difference between the way we cook in South Asian cuisine versus Turkish cuisine is that when we put onions, we literally break it down to the point where there is nothing left of the onions and tomatoes, and everything is kind of mixed in. But in Turkish cuisine, you will see everything separate. So that's another difference. That's why they put it afterwards. That's why they want to make it a little bit differently. So Now, at the same time, I will show you something else that is going on. You know what I will do? I will put a little lid on it just to let it cook on while we do something else. So let's just put a lid on it, and let's come back here where I'm going to do something extra, which is also part of our thing today. So I made the dough in advance, and it's a sticky kind of a dough. So as you can see, it's pretty much stuck here, but that's by design. We want to keep it very, very sticky, and we want to make sure that um, it's treated that way. Just give me 1 second. Move this away. I'm going to just dust this surface with a little bit of flour. And then, since it's sticky dough, I have to literally pry it out of this here. And I'm going to be making 2 loaves of Turkish Ramadan bread. It's called Ramazan bread or Ramazan Pidesi, sorry, Ramzan Pidesi, or it's basically, or pide. Pide is the word for the. As you can see, it's a pretty sticky dough. It's not hard at all. I'm just going to try and get it into a nice round shape, so I can cut it with consistency. Just 1 second, please. So I will give the recipe of the dough in the description later. It is very, very simple dough, nothing rocket science, and it's, if I can do it, anyone can do it. So this is our loaf number 1. We'll put it on the side, and we'll just round it up. This one as well. Now, what we also need to do is we need to have some extra flour here, and I have some extra flour here, and you will just see in a minute why. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get really warm water. Actually, let me not do that right now. We do that in 5 minutes. Let me find a tray. Just bear with me for a second. Sorry, I'm looking for my baking trays. I think we put them somewhere, and then okay, never mind. I'll use something else here. I'll make one of them and leave the other one out for now. So what we need to do is, with hands, we need to convert that into a longer shape, round but bigger shape. Sorry. You can shape it any way you want, but you know, if the round is more traditional, or long one that you get from the bakeries. Then what we do is, I'm just going to make a little paste. I told you I'm going to put some warm water in a little bit of this flour, and I can use for to make it nice on the top. I can use an egg white, egg yolk, or I can use a little bit of applesauce that I'm using, because we don't use eggs when we cook for the family here, because my son is allergic to eggs. So what we're going to do is we're going to use something else instead. You can also use milk instead of water. That gives it a nice texture as well. And I'll put my oven to preheat as well. So here I have it, little bit of flour, little bit of applesauce, just to give it nice glaze. And for this, you can wear gloves, or you can have your hands really clean, and manicured and all that. So that way, you can just go around, and then you can use this to kind of elongate it or increase it in the size while our meat is cooking. So that's how you just continue to expand it. So imagine if it was egg yolk, it would also be giving it nice yellowish color, which we'll miss, but it will still work. So all I'm doing is I'm actually spreading it all the way to the end here. And I think that is enough size. Now comes the part you have to make sure that it's all even from in the middle. And now you just go around and make this traditional, beautiful indentation that they do. And if you see them working, people who have practice, or women who made them in their homes, they have a lot of practice. They make it look really easy. And what we will do is we will just reach all the way to the end, and then we go again. So it actually has a very deep indentation, not going through it, but very deep. And then what we're going to do is we're going to make what is called a baklava pattern. I don't know if you have heard about it, but if you see, baklava is cut like in a diamond style. So we're just going to go and make that pattern here. Again, not deep enough to go through it, but deep enough to make a deep indentation. And then you go across like this. So mine is not as well shaped as it should have been, but it all comes with practice. Now, once you're done with this, just wash my hands quickly. It's because of, I think, extra applesauce that it's not that clean. You can also take a wooden spoon, and with the back of it, you can do the same thing. And then what I have here is I have these black sesame seeds. So I'm just going to sprinkle some of the black sesame seeds. And then I have white sesame seeds as well. Till, as you call it. I'm just gonna sprinkle some on top. Lots and lots, a generous amount. And then you know what? Just because my definition is not very clear here, I'm just gonna go in once again and make it like it should be. So that's my humble effort to make Ramadan bread or Ramazan Pidesi. I'm almost my oven is almost heated. So as soon as it's fully heated, I will go in with my first loaf, and I'll make the second one later, and then we'll go back to our stew. Let's see some of your messages here. Sun is here. That dough looks amazing. Thank you very much, Dana. SK Jewelers is with us, and everybody who is here is going to be in for a treat when it comes out. I just heard the beep for my oven being ready. So this is going in oven for 15 minutes, guys. This is going in oven for 15 minutes. Let's put it in the oven, and I'm going to set the timer here for 15 minutes. We'll check it after 15 minutes. Sorry. Okay, my oven is set for 15 minutes. We'll have it as soon as it's done. Let's go back to our stew here. So we are preparing Turkish cuisine today. As we said, our meat has been cooking a little bit on a lower heat because I gave it some time. So now, as you can see, it's coming along nicely. I'm just gonna turn the heat up a little bit and try to make it's getting nice glaze and it's cooking nicely. And all those flavors from the butter are getting imparted into it. So at this point, I will go in with my garlic and onions. Remember, I cut the onions in two different ways. One is the small dice, and the other one was few of the cubes, like quarters rather. And we will see the difference in texture when it comes out the other end. Now, why I put it now, because when I give it a little bit extra heat and it kind of fries, it will also caramelize my onions in there. So once again, I will let it cook. I will let these beautiful flavors get imparted into the meat itself, the onion flavor and the garlic flavor, while it caramelizes on a little bit higher heat this time. I can cover it. I wish I had a glass lid to work with. I wonder where they are. All right, here is one I found. It's a little too small, but at least we can see what is going on. A little bit small, but for this round, it will probably work. All right, let's read some of the messages here. So, you know what? Let's cook it uncovered. This will probably do more damage than good. I wish I had a larger lid. But let's see how beautiful it is coming along. I'm going to tilt it a little bit. जी पाकिस्तान वालों ने भी सहरी की, मुझे पता है जी, यही तो यहाँ का है, जहाँ ज्यादा बारिश है वही पंजाब की तरफ भेज दे जी, जबरदस्त. So this is what's happening, guys. All over the world, people are doing their Ramadan, their Iftaris, their Sehris. At one point, at one place it's a Sehri, and the other place it's a Sari. The good thing about wok is I can tilt it so you can see it more clearly, even though my camera is kind of lower right now. And you can actually see the live action, what is going on here. So it's basically just cooking away. Now, at this point, I did not tell you about all the spices that I have. I have 1 teaspoon salt here. I'm going to use salt as per the taste. Then I have 1 teaspoon of crushed peppers and a little bit of extra desi tadka to it, just a little bit of red chili powder. And I did not have thyme, but instead I have taken a little bit of dry mint that I'm going to add. And this freshly crushed black pepper I will put in the end as a garnish. So in with my spices, other than everything other than the black pepper. I hope the camera colors are doing justice to what I can see here. And of course, you don't have the benefit of smelling the beautiful, amazing stew that is coming up. Just gonna peek inside the oven. Our so the Turkish bread, as I said, is called Ramadan bread, Ramazan Pidesi, or Ramazan Pide, and it is basically part of lots and lots of things that you can make. Uh, you have seen Italian pizza, but you haven't seen Turkish. If you haven't seen Turkish pide, you will forget the pizza. It's actually, I think, again, I have to do more research, but it seems like it's the grandfather of pizza. They make it with just like a regular pizza. They make the dough, they spread it out, put the fillings in, and then cook it so in a way that it kind of they fold it from the side, so it becomes like a little boat instead of a straight pizza. So that's the main difference when it comes to Turkish pide versus Italian pizza. I will come in a second and read your messages. अच्छा, आपका रोजा खुल गया है, हमारा भी यहाँ पे 15 मिनट में खुलेगा. We are a little bit late, but let's speed up a little bit. अच्छा, at this point, I can go in with my mushrooms and the peppers. Now, as I told you, mushrooms are totally optional. They're not required. Beautiful color. I think I'm going to add a little bit more salt. Uh, Another difference here is that in Turkey they use mostly green, long green chilies, where I didn't find them, so I just went in with this. Now that it's dried up, I will add tomatoes. That's the last thing that you will add. Because at the end of the day, the way traditionally it is cooked, the tomato actually has a little bit of its um, uh, personality left after the cooking. It's not totally dissolved So you can actually taste tomatoes, very nicely spiced tomatoes, inside your stew. So now it's at this point, what they go in with is they cover it and let it simmer for a while. I'm not going to do that. I don't have enough time. So what I'll do is I will just go in with really as hot as possible water and cook it out a little bit more fast. आप लोग जैसे जैसे आप आपके अगर फेरी वगैरह हो गई या जाना है तो नो वरीज, आप लोग कैरी ऑन करें। मैं ज़रा मैसेजेस थोड़े कम देख रहा हूँ, होपफुली आपको ये पसंद आई होगी। हमारे बस 5-6 मिनट हैं उसमें। ब्रेड बनने में 6 मिनट बाकी हैं। 6 मिनट में हम उसको दोबारा चेक करेंगे कि उसकी क्या सूरत हाल है। और स्टू जो है ऑलमोस्ट रेडी है आपका। गोश्त को थोड़ा सा भी सिमर और होना है, गलना है, वो तो आपको मालूम होगा। तो मेरे अंदाजे से थोड़ा सा टाइम ज़्यादा लग गया शुरू में। तो अभी इसको हम जरा सी तेज़ आग के ऊपर कुक ऑफ करेंगे। अमेजिंग फ्लेवर गाइस। Gonna take a little bit of the taste. My wife stopped me at the right time. About to break my rosa accidentally. The smell is amazing. It's almost at a point where we'll just put some water in it and let it simmer. Just enough water that it covers almost the half of it, and we'll let it cook. And that's going to be our final result eventually. Just so you know, this wok is not dirty. This wok is actually seasoned. So when you season it with oil, when you make it like this, it actually looks like this, but it's essentially just the oil that gives us that nice color, the brown color. It's considered a good seasoned wok this way. So for those who are wondering, let's see our bread. It's going to be a little bit longer, I think, but we'll see. We'll keep an eye on it. We still have 10 minutes in our live stream, so that's fine. We have time. I think we'll be ready by within 10 minutes. All right. Needs to cook covered. Even this one is small. Ideally, I should be cooking it covered, but I don't have anything to cover it right now. So I'm just gonna let it be. I think the bread needs 5 more minutes. And in the meantime, I can read some messages. Yes, we are having Turkish today. Today is Turkish cuisine day. It's a stew, but it's a sautéed stew. So it's kind of a, at the end it turns into a stew. It's called et sote, sote. That's how it is spelled. If you want to look it up, you can see it there. So from the Turkish cuisine, hope you enjoyed it so far. Hope that you like it. Try it yourself. See if you can make it. Um, I can see that I'm going to enjoy it a lot. At the end of it all, as you can see, I told you that the onions that we put just like that are going to be like this. You see, they add some nice coloring, some nice elements in there. Then you have the different peppers that we added. So they're not going to be crunchy in the end, like a stir fry, but they're going to be all soft in the end because they need to simmer for good 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Yes, I can smell it's going to be amazing. I almost did. I almost accidentally did. It's going to be in over here. It's going to be 8:05. So we still have like 11 minutes. There are three cuisines in the world who consider top cuisine: Chinese, French, and Turkish. They are arguably one, two, and three. So I consider Turkish being the one of the oldest. Turkish and Chinese. French being inspired by both, perhaps, but mostly from Turkish. There was a point where French princes and princesses would go and get trained, or not get trained, get entertained in those amazing kitchens, and they brought some of it back to um, their own land. And I think it must have inspired, if not started, the whole food thing in French cuisine. थैंक यू हसन, अल्लाह हाफिज, दुआ में याद रखिएगा. Something is beeping. Uh-oh. My oven is malfunctioning for some reason. I hope the bread comes out right. It was beeping. I fixed it. There was something wrong with it. I fixed it, and I think it's causing problem again. All right, so our stew is ready almost. In the end, what we're going to do is garnish it with. I'll turn off the heat here and garnish with a little bit of black pepper. That's very traditional. I just freshly ground it, and I was looking for my cheddar cheese that I had, and you know, a household with kids, things disappear. So the block of cheddar cheese that I had is no more. So what I'm going to do is I'm instead going to use some mozzarella cheese. That's also a traditional thing to be added on top, just in the end. Actually, you do it after you take it out in a bowl. So I'm just going to do that. One of my teachers, she was a she is a Turkish chef, and she taught us many things from Turkish cuisine. Now, that's your Turkish Et Sote. The bread is going to be a little bit late. My oven is acting up, so my apologies for that. But things go wrong in life that you cannot control. It's not looking good. It turned off in the middle, so here it is, the stew. Hope you like it. There's still 5 minutes before I can tell you how it tastes. I almost did. My wife didn't stop me. Instinctively, I was going to taste it. Now, that's our flavorful stew. Hum Cuisine, welcome. Thank you very much for joining us. Hope you're doing well. Everybody else who is with us. I know it's a very odd time in Pakistan, in many other places, but this is the time we cannot change. Yes, thank you. It is very simple. It is very, very simple, straightforward. There was nothing complicated to it. Now, as far as bread is concerned, I have no choice but just to show you how far it got, because my oven actually stopped in the middle and I just turned it on again. So I don't know how well it will turn out, but that's the problem that we have right now. So I will share photos next time possibly. If it doesn't turn around before that, something went wrong and it just didn't work. A little bit out of my control. Yes, so the bread is in there. It's nicely shaped. It's coming around good, but my oven did not heat up properly. In the middle, it just gave up on me. I think there is something wrong. There was a loose wire that I fixed. Maybe it's time to just get some expert in and fix it. Thank you, SK Jewelers, for staying with us. Thank you very much. We are done here. We have finished our hour. So thank you very much. Bread is looking good. I'll share the photos later. I'm sorry, our time is up in 3 minutes, so we have to do iftari as well. And I know that you guys have to go as well. So little bit apologies for the bread. I was really looking forward to it, but it didn't work out. So we'll probably try it again next time. Thank you very much, everyone. अस्सलाम वालेकुम वरहमतुल्लाहि वबरकातुहू। उम्मीद है आप सब जो है अपना रमज़ान खैर खैरियत से मनाएंगे। थोड़ा सा मसला हो गया ब्रेड के लिए, लेकिन स्टू उम्मीद आपको पसंद आया होगा। दिस इज़ टर्किश रेसिपी, तो होपफुली आपको जो है वो पसंद आई होगी। इसके साथ ही हम आपसे इजाज़त चाहते हैं। यहाँ पे मगरिब का टाइम हो गया है, अज़ान हो गई है। अल्लाह हाफ़िज़, अस्सलाम वालेकुम वरहमतुल्लाहि वबरकातुहू। और इसके साथ ही जो है मैं अपनी लाइव स्ट्रीम जो है इसका एंड करता हूँ। इसको मैं यहाँ रख लूँ। अल्लाह हाफ़िज़, अस्सलाम वालेकुम वरहमतुल्लाहि वबरकातुहू।